If you're like me, I downloaded a new JB4 Mobile 3.0 app and know that I can update the themes, but how? Where's the instructions? So let me just walk you through what I learned. So before we begin and get into the customization of the app, I just wanted to kind of show you some tools because chances are, if you're a car guy, you're not an artist. People that do art and people that work on cars are usually different people, but there are some of us that do both. But you will notice that if you're an artist, you're better at art than you are at cars, and if you're a car person, you're better at cars than you are at art. So here's some tools that I use just in the design process that will make um, your ability to pick the right colors and not making an ugly um, customized theme for your car. This first one is Adobe Color, and basically I'll give you all the links in the description below. If you don't care about how your stuff looks, just go ahead and skip to where I talk about um, the actual customization and just use the timestamps below. So Adobe Color, it's Adobe is the industry standard if you're a designer, and so this is what you can use. So say for instance, you don't know where to start. You can just start clicking through these drop downs, and what you'll see is these little hex codes. And if you hover, you can just hit copy. And if you're on a Apple system, you whatever you copy on your Apple computer will go straight to your phone and into your JB4 app. If you don't have that, you'll just have to look at the screen if you're on Android and hand type all of this in. Each one of these codes represents the number you're seeing on the screen. So you just click through and kind of pick different colors. You can drag sliders around and it starts adjusting things. But basically, instead of you just trying to guess on a color, you can kind of go through here and get some different themes, and that'll help you out. Another one is FlatUIColors.com. Basically, you can kind of scroll through here, look through, and see what other people are using. So, say for instance, you see a palette you like, you can kind of go through and look at the colors, and whatever color you want, you can hit copy, and again, this will copy the hex, and then you can paste it in, and basically let you know. The next one is Peloton. And basically with Peloton, it'll pop up with all these ads and stuff. But anyways, another similar thing, you can kind of drag stuff around here and kind of get like maybe the colors you want. And then from there, you can click randomize and you can either pick similar colors or unlike colors, and just to kind of get the color you want. And then from there, you can go ahead and hover, and you can see your hexadecimal numbers that you're able to pull up and copy paste. Well, this one shows the RGB, but you can convert it to hexadecimal. The other one you can use is Coolors. Basically, you can just click Start Generator, and then it starts pulling up different things. This is like conservative colors, but again, you can kind of pick the colors you want and copy and paste them into your app. And these, I guess these are hexadecimal. So the only thing is weird, I'm not seeing the hashtag in the front, so that makes it a little bit crazy. But anyways, you can go through here, kind of pick up different things. You can hit spacebar to generate palettes, and every time you hit spacebar, it just change. Once you get like some colors that you like that are also tuned into your car, you can do that same thing. The other thing you do, if there's a specific color that you want to match on the outside of your car, just take a picture of it with your iPhone, your Android, bring it into Adobe Photoshop if you got a friend, or I know there's um, Canvas, I think, or Canva that you can use for free, and just use a color picker and it'll pick the color out for you, and then you can match that in here. But here's some tools that will help you out if you don't know what color to choose and you don't want to pick something ugly, because you can do some horrible things with, especially with a black background, that will just hurt your eyes, and I'm trying to prevent that. So go ahead and open up your JB4 Mobile app. By default, it'll show the gauges, and you get the map, the logs, codes, and settings. Click Settings, and then you'll see down underneath Advanced, Theme Selection. Go ahead and click that. And then you will probably only see a default theme. I've kind of messed around with some things, so you see multiple themes here. So what I'd recommend is, if you want to create your own theme, I wouldn't try to modify anything existing. Just on the right hand side of your default theme, just click the copy button, because most likely you're probably not going to want to copy from scratch. And so in this case, I'm going to click the BMS1, and it copied it. So now if I scroll down, I see a BMS1 copy, and if you go ahead and click rename, go ahead and give it a new name, like whatever color that you want to do. I'm just going to put my theme, and click rename, and now you have your custom theme. So to go ahead and start changing the colors, go ahead and hit the edit button, which is the pencil on the top right. And then it'll go ahead and open up your edit screen. So as you can see, you can click the add button, and it'll show you the different gauge types that you can add. And all you'll do is just click the one you want, and it adds it to your screen. And then to delete something, you just click the little trash can and it disappears. So usually, like once everything's set up, you might start with an existing theme. You just want to edit the theme, because they pretty much sized everything and have things the way you might want them. To edit an area, all you do is click the pencil, and you can edit either the gauge type, the parameter, or the gauge colors. So gauge type, if you click it, again, it'll show you the different types. And then if not, you can go back and hit gauge parameter, and that's what lets you select the different parameters that you want feeding and giving the data to update that gauge. So again, you can customize it here. You can also customize it once the car is running, and go ahead and select your gauges, but there's just a lot of flexibility with this new update. So I'll go back to edit. I'm going to click gauge colors, because that's what I'm concerned most about today. So here you can kind of see there's where the plus sign is, you have green, yellow, and red. So to begin to change the colors, you just go ahead and click the color swatch, and then it brings up your color hex. So if you remember at the beginning of the video, I said if once you find out what colors you want to use, you can just paste in those numbers here. This is where you do that. The easiest way to build colors and ensure that all your colors are perfectly matched is just to put in the exact color hex and type it in here. And that way, every time you make an update, because you will have to update each one of these items one by one. It won't let you just set a generic green, yellow, red and let it apply across all of your things, because they just want to allow you the flexibility so you can customize everything the way you want it. But to make everything faster, I suggest that you just work on one color at a time across all your gauges. That way you don't miss a step, and you can just make sure that everything's set up exactly the same way with exactly the same colors. So if you don't want to type in the colors, you can just hit the back button and then click the swatch again, and then you can just drag to the color that you want to go with. And what you can see is at the very bottom, the colors start updating and showing you what kind of color across against that background that you're moving to. So if you just drag your finger around and you can pick a different color, you can click different areas of the color bar, and you can see that hex number changing. So basically the green is what color do you want to show on the screen if all is good with your parameters. And so you can pick, for instance, I'll just pick this like mint green type color. And to make sure I have the same mint green, I'm going to double click it, and I'll say no replacements found. I'll do it 3 times, and I'll just hit copy. And now I have my hex. And so once I'm done, I can hit return, and it closes that little box. And now I can hit save. And now one thing I want you to know is if you turn this left or right horizontally, you'll erase the work you just did. So if I want to see and make sure my changes are saved, I must click save. So I'm going to click save on the bottom right. It closes it. Now I go back to my theme. I'm going to hit the edit button. And now if I click edit on the 24 and engage colors, bam, my colors are saved. So that's important to note. I'm going to hit cancel. And you just repeat this for each of your colors. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. Cancel. Now, the question I had is like, how do I edit my horizontal gauges? Well, that's easy. You just turn your phone to the left, it'll refresh, and bam, at the very bottom it says My Theme Landscape. And this will allow you to start editing your landscape thing. So let's see if our colors carried over to the 24 or the 24 boost. I'm going to hit edit, gauge colors. Nope. But no worries. We just copied our hex. So let's go ahead and click green and double click the hex. And we'll hit paste. Okay, you see how it added 2 hashtags? Let's go ahead and delete one of them, because if you have 2, you're going to get an error. And once that's done, go ahead and hit return. And then bam, your color's already updated. You can go ahead and hit your back arrow at the top. And you can see your color's already updated. Make sure you hit save. And again, hit save on this screen, because I found out the hard way. So let's go back to my theme. Now, say for instance, I want to move something around. All you got to do is click the item and drag left or right. It's that easy. And if you want to resize it, you'll see these little double arrows on the corner. Just click and drag, and it'll resize. And the awesome thing is it'll snap to grid. And snap to grid, if you're a designer, is an awesome thing when you need it. And boom, it pops it. It just makes sure that things are automatically aligned the way they should be, and you're not trying to finick around with it to make it exactly right. It'll automatically just be right. And so yeah, it'll allow you to overlap things, and that's important when you're working with small spaces, and you don't want to have any wasted space based on the size of your phone, screen space, and all of that. But this is just one way to do it. And then this other button on the bottom left is the copy button, just like on all other screens. If you click copy, it'll just duplicate that, and it'll create another copy, and then you'd be able to go in and edit and change the parameter and make it be something else. So it's that easy. And then just to get rid of that, just hit the little delete button, and now you're cleaned up. So basically, that's how you edit the themes here. I believe I covered everything, and it's simple. Just customize it the way you want. But the main thing, like right now, I didn't save anything, so let's test it. I'll rotate it and see if I rotate it back, did it delete my changes? And it did. See how the RPM went back to full size. So I just wanted to demonstrate what I found out the hard way, because last thing you want is to make a bunch of changes to your colors and you accidentally rotate your phone and you erase all the work you just did because you're changing this one by one, which is very tedious. So remember to hit that little save button on this screen, as well as the save button inside of this other screen. Once I go to colors, this one on the right, the big red one. So always remember, you got to save at least twice. Save once on this screen, save once on this screen, and it'll take you back to your themes. That way you know that everything's been saved. So that's pretty much everything you need to know for the basics of these themes design. Just to note that there isn't a lot you can change. Like, I wanted to know if I could change the background from black. I also wanted to know if I could change the white lettering to a different color, but you can't. Only thing you could change is the actual colors of the parameters, numbers, and how that's being handled. And the numbers when it's only numbers, and then the bar colors if it's a bar, either radial or whatever. In case you're wondering, you can make any of these look like the old ones. So just click the edit button. You can do, I believe it's gauge type. And then here in the bottom left, you get the old one. If you click it, it replaces it out. And you get the old look and feel with the outer glow and all the Photoshop stuff that you may have liked. So that's how you do that. I just wanted to let you know it's there. If you want to build a theme from scratch, go ahead and click New Theme here at the top, and it'll populate at the very bottom. And down here, you can hit Edit, and here you have a blank black canvas that you can just build anything you want on it. So you could possibly have one theme for vertical and a whole different layout for horizontal based off of your needs and what you want to do. But just like everything else, to add things, you just hit the plus sign, click the item you want, and you can just drag it to size, either the height you want. You can have it take up more space or less, and then just make sure you hit save. And there you see it. It shows up as the vertical theme and your layout. And if you want to delete a theme, you just click delete and delete again, and it clears it out. So that way you're good to go. So that's pretty much everything for the theme selection. So yeah, hope this was helpful, and until next time.